The number of people diagnosed with colorectal cancer before the age of 50 continues to rise. But why? Colon cancer is the third most common cancer in the United States, with a lifetime risk of about 4% for both men and women. Yet, in its early stages, when it's most treatable, colon cancer often has no symptoms at all. But how do you catch something early if it doesn't tell you it's there? The answer is twofold. You need to know what subtle signs to look for, and you need to get screened regularly once you reach a certain age. In today's video, we'll explore the reasons behind this increase and discuss the 10 silent symptoms of colon cancer that you should not ignore. And most importantly, how can you protect yourself? While early-stage colon cancer is often asymptomatic, there are some changes in your body that might indicate something's wrong. The trouble is, most of these changes are easy to dismiss or attribute to other, less serious causes. Curious? Then don't delay and watch the video now. But first, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Let's make this the most liked video on the channel ever. Do you know anyone who has or has had colon cancer? What part of the world are you from? After you've watched the video, drop a comment below so we can get to know each other better. Thank you, and let's get started. Number 1. Abdominal pain or cramping. We all get stomach aches from time to time, but persistent pain, especially if it's severe or accompanied by other symptoms on this list, could be a sign of colon cancer. The pain might be constant or it might come and go. It could be sharp and intense or more of a dull ache. At 35, Susan was a fit yoga instructor, the picture of health. When she began feeling fatigued and noticed mild abdominal pain, she shrugged it off, thinking it was just stress. But as the pain worsened and she experienced unexplained weight loss, Susan asked her doctor for a colonoscopy. Her doctor, convinced it was unnecessary for someone her age, dismissed her concerns. Even a specialist insisted it was likely IBS. After pushing for tests multiple times, Susan finally got her colonoscopy, only to discover a lemon-sized tumor in her colon. Worse, the cancer had already spread to her liver, stage 4. Devastated but determined, she became an advocate, urging others to trust their instincts and push for answers, no matter how healthy or young they seemed. Number 2. Changes in bowel habits. This is probably the most common early sign of colon cancer, but it's also the easiest to ignore. We all have occasional bouts of diarrhea or constipation. Our diets change, we travel, we get stressed. Lots of things can throw off our usual bathroom routine. But if you notice a persistent change that lasts more than a few weeks, it's worth paying attention to. Are you suddenly having frequent bouts of diarrhea when that's not normal for you? Or maybe you're constipated more often than usual. These could be signs that a tumor is affecting how your colon functions. Number 3. Narrow stools. This is a specific type of change in bowel habits that deserves its own mention. If your stools suddenly become very thin or ribbon-like, it could indicate that something is partially blocking your colon. A growing tumor can do exactly that. Number 4. Blood in your stool. This is one of those symptoms that seems like it should be obvious and alarming, but it's surprisingly easy to miss or misinterpret. Sometimes the blood is visible, appearing as bright red streaks on your toilet paper or turning the water in the toilet bowl pink. But other times it might only be detectable through testing. And even when it is visible, it's easy to attribute to other causes. Hemorrhoids are a common culprit, and they're usually harmless. But if you're seeing blood regularly, don't just assume it's hemorrhoids. Get it checked out. Number 5. Unexplained weight loss. Losing weight without trying might seem like a nice problem to have, but it can actually be a sign of several serious health conditions, including colon cancer. If you find yourself dropping pounds without changing your diet or exercise habits, it's worth talking to a doctor. Number 6. Fatigue and weakness. This is another symptom that's easy to write off. We all get tired sometimes, right? But the fatigue associated with colon cancer is often more severe and persistent than normal tiredness. You might feel exhausted even after a full night's sleep, or find yourself needing to rest much more often than usual. Before we continue, I want to share an exclusive announcement. Looking to get more involved? I'm super excited to let you know that we now have a channel membership. As a member of the channel, you pay a small monthly subscription fee and receive all the incredible perks, including early access to new videos, priority reply to comments, members-only shorts, members-only polls and quizzes, and you will have access to very special emojis and loyalty badges. It's a great way to support the channel and connect with us on a deeper level. Just hit that join button and let's make this journey even better. Number 7. Anemia. Anemia is a condition where you don't have enough healthy red blood cells to carry oxygen to your tissues. It can be caused by blood loss, which is why it's sometimes associated with colon cancer. Symptoms of anemia include fatigue, weakness, shortness of breath, and looking pale. Number 8. A feeling that your bowel doesn't empty completely. This is a subtle symptom that many people might not even recognize as unusual, but if you consistently feel like you still need to go to the bathroom even after you've just been, it could be a sign that a tumor is affecting your colon function. Number 9. Unexplained nausea or vomiting. While not as common as some of the other symptoms on this list, persistent nausea or vomiting can sometimes be a sign of colon cancer, especially if the tumor is causing a bowel obstruction. Number 10. Unintended weight gain, especially around the midsection. This might seem to contradict the earlier point about weight loss, but both can be signs of colon cancer. Some people, especially women, might experience bloating and weight gain around their midsection due to the growing tumor. Now here's the tricky part. None of these symptoms definitively means you have colon cancer. Each one could be caused by a variety of other conditions, many of them far less serious, and that's part of what makes colon cancer so sneaky. It's easy to explain away these symptoms, to tell yourself it's just hemorrhoids or stress or that spicy meal you ate last night. But if you're experiencing one or more of these symptoms persistently, it's worth getting checked out. The best that can happen is you catch a serious condition early when it's most treatable. How is colorectal cancer detected? This brings us to the second part of catching colon cancer early, regular screening. The American Cancer Society recommends that people at average risk of colorectal cancer start regular screening at age 45. This is a change from their previous recommendation of 50, reflecting the fact that colon cancer rates are rising among younger adults. If you have a family history of colon cancer or certain other risk factors, you might need to start screening even earlier. Talk to your doctor about what's right for you. The gold standard for colon cancer screening is the colonoscopy. I know, nobody likes the idea of a colonoscopy. The prep is unpleasant, the procedure itself seems invasive, and the whole thing just feels embarrassing. But here's the thing, a colonoscopy isn't just a screening tool, it's also preventive care. During a colonoscopy, the doctor can remove any polyps they find. Polyps are small growths on the lining of the colon that can sometimes turn into cancer. By removing them, you're not just detecting cancer early, you're preventing it from developing in the first place. There are other screening options available if you really can't stand the idea of a colonoscopy. There are various types of stool tests that can detect blood or other markers of cancer. There's also something called a virtual colonoscopy, which uses CT scans to look at your colon. These alternatives are better than nothing, but they're not as effective as a traditional colonoscopy. They might miss small polyps, and if they do find something suspicious, you'll end up needing a regular colonoscopy anyway to confirm the findings and remove any polyps. So if you're over 45 or younger with risk factors, and you haven't been screened for colon cancer, talk to your doctor about getting it done. While anyone can get colon cancer, certain things can increase your risk. Some of these you can't control, like your age or your genetics, but others are related to lifestyle choices that you can influence. Age is the biggest risk factor. Your risk of colon cancer increases as you get older, which is why screening recommendations are based on age. But remember, younger adults can and do get colon cancer, so don't ignore symptoms just because you're under 45. Family history is another major risk factor. If you have a first-degree relative, parent, sibling, or child who's had colon cancer, your risk is 2 to 3 times higher than average. If you have multiple affected relatives or relatives who were diagnosed at a young age, your risk is even higher. Certain genetic conditions can also increase your risk. Familial adenomatous polyposis, FAP, and Lynch syndrome are 2 examples. If you have one of these conditions, you'll need to start screening much earlier and have it done more frequently. Diet plays a big role. A diet high in red and processed meats and low in fruits, vegetables, and fiber has been linked to an increased risk of colon cancer. On the flip side, eating lots of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains can help lower your risk. Physical activity is also important. People who are sedentary have a higher risk of colon cancer. Obesity is another risk factor. People who are overweight or obese have a higher risk of colon cancer, and they tend to have worse outcomes if they do get it. Smoking and heavy alcohol use can also increase your risk. Both of these habits are linked to an increased risk of many types of cancer, including colon cancer. How to prevent colon cancer? Some studies indicate that individuals might lower their risk of developing colorectal cancer by increasing physical activity, maintaining a healthy weight, following a diet that is low in animal fats and rich in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, limiting alcohol intake, and steering clear of tobacco. Colon cancer is serious, but it's also highly treatable when caught early. It often doesn't have obvious symptoms in its early stages, but there are subtle signs you can watch out for. If you notice any of these symptoms persisting for more than a few weeks, talk to your doctor. Don't explain them away or assume they're nothing serious. It's always better to get checked and find out it's nothing than to ignore a potential problem. If you're 45 or older or younger with risk factors, talk to your doctor about colon cancer screening. Yes, colonoscopies are nobody's idea of a good time, but they're not as bad as you probably imagine, and they can literally save your life. If this video helped you out, give it a quick like and share it around. It could really help someone else looking after their colon health. Want to stay in the loop with more health tips? Just hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We release new videos every week. Your likes and comments really keep us going. They show us what you want to see more of. Thank you for watching, and remember to take care of your colon health. Bye.